Hello, my name is Jim Mullany. Today is Monday, June 15th, 2020. I'm doing a video source inspection for a tool that is being shipped internationally. I've met this customer before in Europe, so I'm happy to say that, by the way, today is my 35th wedding anniversary. I almost didn't come into work today because I don't take days off, but I knew it was important to get this video done tonight, so I came in. So my wife said, go make that shipment. All right, so the customer's PO is 17796. This is a 2300S spin rinse dryer. It's a 220 version. The options it includes are the static eliminator and the DI water recirculation, and I'll check those in a second. It also is fully CE marked, and we'll send all the CE certification with it. So let me check the options, and then I'll talk about all the inserts. Alrighty, I see the resistivity. I see DI recirculation. And make sure that's DI and recirculation. That is correct. It also has 4 inserts, and what I'm going to be doing is the system is set up for the high-profile Integris A192 ADM cassette. That's what this is. I'm going to go ahead and run the first process run with that. And then we have inserts, and I'll show you how fast. It takes less than 10 seconds to change wafer sizes. We have an insert that will allow the customer to downsize very quickly to a 6-inch A182 60MB cassette. They can downsize to a 4-inch A72 40MB cassette. They can also downsize to a 3-inch A82M cassette. And finally, a downsize to 2-inch to an A72 20M. And I'll show you how those work after I run the first process. What I'll go ahead and do is start the tool now, because it's kind of boring at why it runs, and then I'll talk about our remanufacturing process and then more about our company. So, you simply, oh, and what I did not say is this system also comes with a state-of-the-art slick device controller. This controller makes any system we refurbish as good or better than any new system you can buy in the world. It is a full diagnostic system. It's state-of-the-art. It's touchscreen. It's graphical controlled. It has all your error messages. It has data logging. It has special algorithms to warn you if some of your components go bad. I won't go into detail on the training of this, because if you go to YouTube and search SciTech process, you'll see a lot of videos, and just slick device S1 or F1. That's S as in Sam or F as in Frank. And you'll see quite a lot of training videos that we've done over the last year and a half on this. This controller is becoming the accepted controller as a retrofit worldwide, and we're very, very happy with its capabilities. Okay, so if a customer wants to run 8-inch, this is the tool. They would take their 8-inch cassette and simply load it. And hit start. The typical spin rinse dryer process is a rinse, which you can see now the water's rinsing. It'll go into a purge, which blows the water out of the DI manifold so it doesn't drip back during the dry cycle. It'll go into dry 1, which is a high RPM, low duration dry, and it'll then go into dry 2, which is a high duration, low RPM dry, kind of the opposite. There's lots of studies done over the years that best particle counts are when you can run at low RPM. Okay, we have 3 seconds left in the rinse. I'm doing just a 30-second rinse here. Okay, now we're going to the purge, which I talked about. All right, the green means it's activated, so the LPP is low pressure purge, the purge valve, and the N2 is on. Okay, now we're going into the dry 1. As you can see, we're ramping up. We're ramping at 2,000 RPM, and look, we're dead even at 2,000. No variation of the RPMs at all. I have a shorter than sometimes necessary process, or in fabs. We only have a 60-second dry 1 and a 180-second dry 2. Most customers run a little bit longer, but for the sake of the video, I'm just running that shorter process because the wafers come out dry and everything's good. All right, so we have a minute here still, and then we have, again, the dry 2. I'll go ahead and talk about our remanufacturing process, why we're waiting. So at SciTech Process Solutions, we rebuild, refurbish any size spin rinse dryer. We take the tools down, we break them down to the base level, we reconfigure them with new bowls, new heater blankets, new motors if necessary. We have our own new servo amps, and we start doing a dry build. I won't go into our full detail because our customer has that part of the specification before they place the order, but we have a thorough remanufacturing process. Once the system is in dry build, which is out in the manufacturing area, there's a second QC by a technician. The system passes the QC, it's then brought into wet test, and it's brought in without the poly. In fact, it's brought in like this. This is another customer's tool that we're working on, right here. This is a tool that just came in. I see there's no poly shrouds. It's now being hooked up to the DI and it'll be tested for any leaks. After that, it then goes through 50 process runs. If there's no errors, it then moves into having the poly fit to it, another 50 process runs, and if it passes all 100 runs, it's then given to sales for our video. If there's any failure during that process in our QC, we go ahead and note it in the job folder for our own internal quality control and start the testing all over again. Okay, now we're down at a dry 2. As I said, dry 2 is a low RPM. We're only at 500 RPM. It's a longer duration. The only difference here is if you have an anti-static module, the anti-static module would be green. There is a option in the system. If it doesn't have an anti-static module, it doesn't care, but you can turn the anti-static on and off. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at this, and the anti-static module is on because that was an option, but the resistivity, oh, there is 3 options, the DI resistivity. Okay, so I called out the 2 in the back, and then I saw the anti-static option. The customer did purchase all 3 options. What happens, we have another 100 seconds left. So that's our remanufacturing process. What I'll start to do is talk about our support we have on the tools, and then we'll go into the inserts on the next run. If you go to our website at scitechprocess.com, on the left-hand side you'll see a variety of buttons for different product types. The first 7 are all semi-tool spin rinse or dry related, or semi-tool product related, I should say. The first 3 are the tools we sell. The S model, like this, which is a servo amp brushless motor, state-of-the-art tool. We also offer the F model, which is Frank. It turns out this is a customer in the United States is getting that. Looks just like an S model, but it uses a brush motor and a ferrophotic seal. And then we also offer the traditional ST that's been around for a lot of years. So we actually sell quite a lot of all 3 versions. All right, 50 seconds left. The next 3 buttons are all the spare parts. We have 100% spare parts on all 3 models. This system, everything on it we can supply new. On the F model, everything on it we can supply new, and on the ST, everything we on it. On the STs, we do complete remanufacturing of the controllers. We don't build those new normally because we have so many in stock. We don't build too many of the 101s brand new. The only reason is we have so many in stock now because everyone's upgrading to our Slick device controller that we just mostly sell remanufactured controllers versus new because the quality and the warranty is the same way. Okay, 15 seconds left. At the end of the process, it's called the rotor stop position or RSP. It has a piston, it'll shoot out, it rolls against the cam, it finds a very specific spot, which we call home position, and it'll upright to 12 o'clock. Once the RPMs go down to 0, I'll hear the door release, and I'll be able to open up the system. There we go. You heard that? With our Slick device controller, you can acknowledge the process in 3 different ways. One is you can hit the button, which you don't need to. 2 is you can hit stop, or 3 is you simply open the door. I'll just open the door. Blue means process is over, and it's time to unload the wafers. All right. Take the cassette out. Nice and warm. Wafer's nice and dry. Let me feel for the hot end too. Nice and hot. Yep. Let me put these down now. Okay. As you might have noticed, our light turned amber. Amber means the tool's back in the ready position, that the door has been opened, the wafer's been unloaded. Okay, what I'm going to do now is show you how to use our inserts. SciTech has an insert design that utilizes the outside dimension of a certain cassette and the inside dimension of another cassette. This happens to be the insert for 6-inch. So all of a sudden the customer's running 8-inch and a 6-inch lock comes down the line right behind it. And in the past, you'd have to take all the screws off, take the rotor out, take another 25-pound rotor, reload it in, and it's very cumbersome and they would go out of balance. With us, you simply take our insert and install it like this. As I said, less than 10 seconds, you've changed wafer sizes. So now an operator walks up with a 6-inch wafer. This is an A182 60MB cassette and simply loads it in. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and run a full process so you can see that the 6-inch wafer is dry as well as the 8-inch. On our indicator lights, I haven't gone into detail. Green means you're running process. The blue means process is over. The amber or yellow means it's in the ready state. And if you had an error, you would have a red light for alarms. And I'll probably show you the alarm screen just for reference, even though we won't have an alarm, so an operator can see what kind of alarms come up and how they can notify maintenance. So again, now we're kind of in the boring part of it again. We're going to do the rinse, same process, purge, dry, dry. While this is going through, let's talk about some of the other support we do. Approximately a little over a year ago, Cytec purchased the Vertex/Martech product line. That was the competitive rinser dryer to Semi-Tool. We now own all of the information on that. We have all the IP rights. We have all the software. We have all the complete inventory, all the build-to drawings. We're slowly ramping up to speed. We've just finished our, here's another one. This is our 4th machine that we've done in the last month and a half now. We're finally come up to speed with our trainings, with our people, and we're starting to sell the spare parts. We hope then by the end of Q3, we have all the spare parts online. There's literally 1,000 spare parts we have to add to our website, so it's quite tedious. So besides the Semi-Tool spin rinse dryer, we also obviously the Vertex spin rinse dryer. We also kind of in the same family of wet processing. We are the market leader on the Integris HCC. That's the cassette and box washers. That's the Integris/Floorware, depending what year you bought it. The 8000, 8010, 8020, and 8030. We have complete remanufacturing of those systems. We actually have 2 right now on our manufacturing floor. And we also refurb customers' tools. We had a customer send us a tool in that was in very bad shape, probably the worst we've ever seen one. We stripped it all the way down to the frame, and we're in the middle of rebuilding it back up. When they get it back, it'll be in like a new condition. We're replacing all the inside Teflon, all the inside PVDF parts, a brand new door, brand new heaters, brand new elements, filters, etc. So we're going through a complete remanufacture. On our website, you'll also see we have all the spare parts, all the hubs that wear out, all the spray arms, different valve assemblies, the large air heater, etc., etc. We have them all if you go to our website. All right, we're dropping down into dry 2. Okay, so we have about 3 minutes to go. The third product line we offer that kind of fits in the same family is the wafer mask scrubbers. Those are your high pressure and scrub mask cleaners. Those tend to be the Ultra T, K&S, and Ultratech type mask cleaners. We do quite a lot of them. I think we have 3 or 4 in stock right now. We ship about one every 2 months or so. So we do quite a lot of that, and you'll find a full range of spare parts on our website with that too. So besides the wet processing tools, we also do metrology. We have the KLA 10-core particle counters. We do the DECTAC profilometers, the alpha step profilometers. We do the different liposometry equipment. We have multiple nanometrics tools here for thin film measurement and for even thicker film measurement. So we do quite a lot of that. We have NestLab chillers. We have high and low power microscopes, the Nikon, the lights, etc. We do etch equipment, Branson etchers, Techniques etchers, etc. So the matrix etchers, we do quite a lot. On our website, you can Google, or search I should say, on the search bar, any company or product type, and you'll be able to refine your search. Or simply just contact the Cytec sales department, and the appropriate salesperson will help you. Okay, we have about 93 seconds left. For reference, some customers question this. See the bowl heater? See where it's amber now, yellow? Now it's green. That's because that monitors the process switch on the bowl. When the bowl heater blanket gets the temp, the switch opens so it doesn't run away. It becomes amber. When it cools down below the spec, it turns green again and closes and adds power to it. You'll see it cycle multiple times usually in a process, and that is standard, and it's what's needed. If it doesn't do that, you will get an error because that means your pressure, your temp switch either did not open or did not close, and we monitor that also. Alrighty, so let's look. We go back here. On the back here, we have the servo amp mounted. It's called the LC5. It's on the back here. You can't see it in the video. We also have the EMO. You know, obviously we said we did the CE marking. The EMO and the resets back here, and we have the EMO on the front. We'll put all of our CE marking on the tool after the video. So about 30 seconds left. So at the end of this process, we have multiple recipes in the Slick Device Controller. Actually, a total of 20 altogether, even though about 16 are actually used. The last 4 are best known process. I'll move it to number 2, which does a quick 45 second high speed, low speed dry. I don't want to have to watch you watch 6 minutes on every insert. go through this, when really I just want to show you how well the inserts are balanced. You'll see that in a second. Okay, we're winding down now. Okay, this time I'll show you how you can use the button and that'll clear it. So take it out. First I fill the hot end suit, nice and warm, good. Bowl looks good. Wafers are nice and warm, nice and dry, excellent. And you simply remove the insert like so. I'm gonna go ahead and move these over here right now. Alrighty, so guess what? An operator walked up and said, oh, I need to run my 4-inch wafers now. So you grab your 4-inch insert. Much like the 6-inch insert, you simply load it and you've converted to 4-inch. I'll go ahead and grab a A7240MB 4-inch cassette like so. Each bar always in and it loads like that. I'm going to switch the recipe as I told you to recipes. There's our default code. I'm going to pick recipe 2, which is 0 rinse, 0 purge, is 45 seconds high RPM and 45 seconds low RPM, just to show you the balancing. I save, and I will load it. Alrighty, there's the recipe 2, and I'll simply hit start. That beeping you heard is because it stepped through the 0 time recipes. Okay, you can see we're ramping up very quickly, very smooth, no vibration. This system I have on for recipe 2 is only 1800 RPM. Most customers don't run higher than 1800. I ran the first 2 cassettes at 2000 just for a variation, but you can see the system runs totally smooth. There's no vibration. In fact, the only thing you can hear is the nitrogen coming out of the back drain. Otherwise, you'd hear no noise from the tool at all. All right, we got 3 seconds left, and we're going to go into dry 2, low RPM. All right, we're going to ramp down here. I didn't see how many times the bowl temp opened and closed, so I'm doing such a short process. If it happens that it didn't open and close in time, I will get the error, which would be good, because nobody runs a 45-second process. You couldn't dry your wafers in 45 seconds. It's impossible, basically. But again, this is to show the functionality of it, just how well it spins. Alrighty, we're breaking down. The smaller wafers break down faster because there's less centrifugal force and weight. Traditionally they do. Okay, there we had our upright fire, and it's going to be 0 in a second. There we go. Now we'll do the third way. I'll clear it here. That cleared it, as you can see it cleared. Okay, hot end 2 feels good. So that's nice and warm. Okay, guess what? 4-inch is done. Now the customer comes up and says, uh-oh, I got to run 3-inch now. So you take our 3-inch insert. Much like the 4-inch insert, you slide it in. Less than 10 seconds of wafer size. You take your 3-inch cassette, load it, and hit start. And what I'll do is, while we're waiting for this, I'll show you the 2-inch cassette, only because when 2-inch wafers were designed, there were no rinser dryers. So the cassette design allowed the bowing of the middle on the centrifugal force, and it crossed out the wafers. What happens is you have to notch out the corners of the 2-inch cassette. That allows the rotor or insert to give support all the way down. This one's already been notched out. We've already emailed the customer notching design. It's very simple. It takes less than 30, call it a minute, to notch your cassette. You use a nice razor blade or something. That's what is appropriate in the fab if you have one. And you can simply notch them and it works fine. But I wanted to show you that. You don't see too many 2-inch wafers around nowadays. Well, actually, we do. Most people don't, but we do. We see quarter pieces, we see squares, we see rectangles, we have 2-inch, 4-inch, 300 millimeter, we have 300 millimeter square, we have some of the larger semi-tools we're doing right now. We've had recent orders in the last month for 300 millimeter tools, a lot of 200 millimeter, as a lot of fabs are converting to 200 millimeter. So we are quite busy actually in our company. We've been busy for the last 10 years, I guess. Every time we think there's going to be a slight break, more big orders come in. Alrighty. Now we're ramping back down. Okay. Alrighty. Take my cassette out. There we go. And simply remove the insert. Alrighty, here we go now. Operator walked up and said, uh-oh, now I want to run 2-inch. Here you go, here's our 2-inch insert. You simply install it. For reference, the inserts, all the inserts have back, I'll call it nubs if you want to call it, and you'll notice there's no nubs on the front. What those are designed for is when your cassette slides in, I'll show you here, it acts as the stop so you can't push the cassette all the way through. So that's the load side of into the rotor, and you always load from the front of the insert. You cannot do it the opposite. Just to show you, some people said, well, what if my operator makes a mistake? Because these nubs like that, they're made to stop it, you can't go in that way if you wanted to. So even if you put the insert in backwards, you can't load it. It's impossible. Alrighty, so I simply load my 2-inch insert and my cassette. And hit start. And this will be our last process. One thing that I did forget to say in the beginning is that at SciTech, we understand COVID-19. We're taking all the safety precautions. We've had our sales department and administration working at home for over 3 months now, I think. Everyone in our company wears gloves and masks. I normally wear masks all the time when I'm out of my relocated office in the very back of the building. Actually, I converted a conference room into my office because of COVID-19 to be safe. But in the final test area, when I'm just here, I take the video off, my mask off, so you can hear me in the video. Otherwise, it would be more muffled, and it would be difficult for people on our YouTube channel to hear what I'm saying. Okay, now we're down to the last 45 seconds. So what we're going to be doing now at the end of this process is this video is being uploaded tonight to our YouTube channel. Our customer hopefully will review it tomorrow, give us the okay. If we get the okay tomorrow, we're going to start the packaging of that, and they're currently scheduled to pick up the tool on Wednesday to be shipped international. Traditionally, we would have, SciTech would have gone over and helped do the startup. We do that on most of our international shipments to help to support our distributive network. But because, again, COVID-19, we're really restricted from flying and entering certain countries without long quarantine. So like everybody else, we're kind of stuck at home nowadays. All righty. Okay. Take my the little babies, the little 2-inch out. There you go. And I'll take the insert out. Just like that. Put it over here, out of the way. One thing, what I will do real quickly, only because it's a nice feature, the machine ran perfectly. But if there was an issue and there was an alarm at the end, you'd have an alarm screen. That would be blinking red. And when you brought the alarm screen up, you have your resistivity, your door, your heater blanket, anti-static, the RSP, N2 heaters, pressures, the amp control, the motor control. All those are being monitored all the time. It would be red if it had an error, and then the operator can simply, if they wanted to, if you wanted to go into the maintenance mode, you would just have to go to, let's see, okay, see right here, maintenance completed, turn light on or off. This way the operator can put it in maintenance mode. The multifunction light means that do not run the tool. And once a maintenance person comes over, sees what the issue is, repairs if necessary, they simply turn off the maintenance light and you're ready to go. Okay, so that will conclude this video source inspection of a fully remanufactured 2300S spinning rinse dryer with a state-of-the-art Cytec upgraded S1 controller. It's set up for 8-inch, 6-inch, 4-inch, 3-inch, and 2-inch, which I've demonstrated. Today, again, is Monday, June 15th, 2020, and again, it's my anniversary. Happy birthday, happy anniversary, Terry. And if you have any questions, feel free to call us at 916-797-9000, or go to any product on our website and click the Contact Sales button, and we'll get a hold of you as soon as we can. Thank you. Have a great day.